All right, how's it going, everyone? Isaac Katz here, and welcome to my week 2 reading reflection. I got some great feedback in the last one, and in this reflection, I'm going to try and incorporate more of the readings into my responses. So without further ado, I got some notes here. Let's jump into question 1. Basically, question 1. First, pick one of the 4 general education learning outcomes that you feel that you have the most experience demonstrating through your academics, personal, and or professional accomplishments. Describe how the readings and the videos this week deepened your understanding of that and contributed to the ways you understand this gen ed learning outcome. So after looking through the 4 general education learning outcomes, the one that I thought I had the best grasp of was communicating effectively. And I think I have the best grasp of this one because I've been able to show it in ways like making videos. I am very into making videos, and I'm able to incorporate that in a lot of my projects and presentations, where if I'm not as good at public speaking, I can spend the time to record myself talking and make sure I get it right, so that way I can show that video instead of a presentation and can communicate exactly what I want to say more effectively. Another way in my, I guess you could call it professional life, is in my fraternity, I'm the social chair. So I'm in charge of pretty much planning every single social event that the fraternity throws. And it was definitely a role that when I first got picked to do, I was not very good at. I had anxiety talking to people, but it's something that since I've gotten a lot better at public speaking, and I've gotten a lot better at talking to a lot of people and communicating my ideas in my head. If I want a party or a philanthropy event to look like this, I'm able to communicate exactly how I want it to people in my fraternity so they can help me pull it together. I'd also say I think I'm just good at communicating in ways like sign language. I'm taking ASL here at the U of A, so I've learned how to say things like, "Hey, what's your name? My name's Is." I don't know, just little things like that I think make me a pretty good communicator. So yeah, question 2. In your own words, define what this learning outcome means to you and why it matters for you personally, academically and or professionally. How does this learning outcome show up in your personal, professional life and for you as a member of your community? I think the reason I care so much about communicating effectively is because when I think about AI and ChatGPT and technology nowadays, there are so many different things that feel like they're going to be taken over. And I think one of the skills that I really believe isn't going to be taken over by AI is the ability to simply talk to someone face to face and communicate your ideas effectively. And I think that's going to be something that a lot of jobs look for. A lot of people hiring are going to want people who are good talking face to face. My dad, who's a bankruptcy attorney, he always tells me the best lawyers are the ones who aren't amazing and know all, or they are amazing, but don't have the whole law memorized in their head. They're the ones that are able to communicate their ideas effectively in court. And I think that's something that just really resonates with me. So yeah. Anyways, question 3. Which of the 4 gen ed learning outcomes do you feel the least confident in or need to explore further? So this one honestly was a pretty no-brainer to me. And I think it is the use of information and being able to use information ethically and effectively. And this kind of just takes me back to Jennifer Martin's reading. I honestly don't feel that confident when it comes to being able to find good sources or being able to navigate the U of A library. And I think a lot of times just the information that comes towards me isn't always from the most reliable sources. I think I get a lot of it from certain sources that are very biased towards one side, and I definitely need to do a better job of, like she said in her reading, expanding the amount of places that I get my information from. I think it would just be a big benefit, and I think it would help me a lot at improving how I'm able to use information ethically and effectively. Anyways, question 4. How might you go about developing that learning outcome as you move forward as a lifelong learner? Well, I think the first course in strengthening and developing that learning outcome is just acknowledging that I'm not the best at it. And I think that's something I've really realized now in my junior year, is that I just am not the best. I think it comes from a lot of things like dyslexia. I've never really liked reading or writing, and so I think I've always just kind of pushed that to the back of my head and like not wanted to think about it. But now, just that I'm in harder level classes, it's something that like I can't simply just forget about and push to the back of my head. Like I'm kind of forced to tackle it head on and figure out how I can improve my use of information ethically and effectively. So I don't know, I've been doing a lot of things. Like this semester I'm in the SALT Center, and that has been incredibly helpful. Shout out to my SALT Center advisor, Taylor Giles. Like she has been a lifesaver, and we've talked a lot about how this is something I struggle with. And so she's recommended things like the drop-in writing lab at the SALT Center, where I've been going 2-3 times a week, and I go in there, sign in, and there's always tutors there who are just there to help me find sources, help me navigate the U of A library, and it's pretty much like a private tutor to help me strengthen this skill that I'm not super good at. So yeah, that's I guess how I plan to improve how I'm able to use information ethically and effectively. And one more thing just before I end it, going back to question 1, I do think something I just really like relating back to the reading was Jessica Hill's reading about improv. I thought it was really cool how she talked about one of the biggest things they do in improv is add and stack onto each other. And if one person has an idea, you say yes, and then you add another thing. And I think that is such an amazing way to look at discussions and being able to simply add on and get to I don't know, I just think it's amazing for problem solving and such a good way to go about collaborative work. So yeah, anyways, that sums up my week 4 reflection. I'm pretty sure I covered everything here, but thank you for watching, and I will see you, I said week 4, my week 2 reflection, and I will see you in the next one.